So let's talk about the One Punch Man TV specials. On this video, I'm going to be covering two TV specials. The first two that came out after Road to Hero. Of course, Road to Hero was a prequel special that kind of told the story of Saitama getting his costume. And those of you who want more One Punch Man reviews, for those who don't know, who are new to the channel, I have reviewed every One Punch Man episode. I'm going to leave the playlist in the description down below, so check that out. I've reviewed all 12 episodes, and right now what I'm doing is I'm making my way through the OVAs or the specials or whatever you want to call them. So I covered Road to Hero, and on this video I'm going to be covering the next two, which the first one's called, Japanese title is Shinobiyori Sugiru Kage, which in English is a shadow that snuck up too close, where it's pretty much, these two kind of have parallel stories, which I'll get to in a minute. That one came out Christmas Eve, and then the second special is called Hanashibeta Sugiru Deishi, which translates to the disciple who stinks at storytelling. And pretty much these stories are, what they are is that they're extra content, extra material. They're 10-minute shorts about some of the side characters. They don't really focus that much on Saitama. Now, I haven't watched them all yet. I just got done watching these two, and I'm doing the review literally after I get done watching them. So I don't really know exactly if they're all like this, but it seems to be the case. Now, the first one, the Shadow one, takes place shortly after episode 2, where Genos is like kind of stalking Saitama. This is all about Genos, all right? He's stalking Saitama, trying to find out why the hell he's so strong. Of course, he ends up fucking up and taking one of Saitama's fries, French fries, and then Saitama thinks he has a stalker, and then he knocks out the wrong guy, which is the punchline of the episode. And then it's one of those things where Genos just doesn't know how or why Saitama's so strong, but the episode ends with him finally, like, you know, wanting to be his apprentice. Of course, those of you who watch the One Punch Man TV episodes, you know why he's so strong. So 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, etc., etc. So I really like the fact that they did this. I really enjoy that. Now, the second special, I think, is really, really fun. Pretty much they have this cool little scene with Saitama and Genos taking a bath together. It's one of those, like, public baths that only exist in Japan, like the hot tub or the spas or whatever. And they're pretty much, you know, at this point, Saitama has accepted Genos as his apprentice, okay? Like I said, these episodes or these OVAs take place in between the episodes. So I think there should be a guide somewhere on the net about how to watch them chronologically. If not, maybe I will create one after this, after I'm done watching all these, and that'll make it easier for everybody. So it's just a lot easier. So anyways, Saitama pretty much and Genos start arguing about what to buy for dinner, and then they split up to figure it out. And then what happens is there's an action scene with Genos at like the shopping mall or whatever, and then they end up meeting this guy named Don Pacino, who's like this mobster. Kind of reminds me of the Penguin in many ways, in the way that he looks and whatnot. And there's basically this like this mob war between families. It's kind of like The Godfather, I guess. It's kind of funny. Of course, his name is Don Pacino. Of course, Al Pacino played Michael Corleone in The Godfather. So you can tell that this is all a big joke, which I love. Again, you know, one is a great writer. He's got that kind of Toriyama tongue-in-cheek sense of humor that I love, and I think it works out for One Punch Man. Of course, the whole comedy here, the calamity, is that Pacino thinks that Genos is associated with the rival family, steals the key, and they have this whole thing where Genos has to explain who he is, and he tells this long-ass story. Pacino then becomes angry and just fucking tries to kill him, and Genos is like, fuck this, and takes him out. And then Saitama's like kind of irritated that Genos is late or whatever, and afterward they just eat. So this story is pretty much, again, the pupil who's a poor talker, you know, is that he just isn't very good at explaining things. And this is kind of a joke that was said in the One Punch Man story, where Saitama wants this guy to hurry the fuck up whenever he's talking and get to the point. You know, Genos tends to drag himself on too much. But I really enjoyed these. They're very short. They're easy to digest. 10 minutes, 15. Well, I haven't seen a 15-minute one. I think they're like 10, 12 minutes. I'll be watching 3 and 4 very soon, and then 5 and 6. And that's it. 6 is the last one that aired back in May. That is the last One Punch Man OVA. So I'll be checking these out 2 at a time. Thank you for checking out my review. Let me know down below if you think I missed anything, or if you think there's something I should rewatch or anything like that. If you think there's anything that any opinion you have on these OVAs and on these 2 specifically, let me know. Thank you again for supporting the channel. I'll talk to y'all later.